So here is the hammer of justice, the Department of Government Efficiency. I can't wait to see this. I saw Vivek Ramaswamy speak about a year ago on PBD, and he was talking about how much waste there is to cut. I mean, it's like Pareto's principle. You probably have 20% of the people doing 80% of the work, and then 80% of people just dicking around. So it'd be really easy to cut these jobs and still have everything run super efficiently. I really hope this happens to the rental agencies because I think they are absolutely ridiculous. Like in Daytona Beach, you have this rental agency where they come and they tell you we don't like that the trim of your windows doesn't match the paint in your fascia. And meanwhile, there's methamphetamine infestation and trap houses and prostitution and all kinds of real problems. But they're worried about paint trims. And they fine you excessively to the point where I don't believe it's constitutional. We got fined 60K for taking too long to do something that we actually completed successfully and that they gave us the rental license for. So I believe that's an unauthorized body, and I hope that the hammer of justice comes down upon them. And I think you're going to see a lot of memes. I mean, Elon Musk lives on Meme Street. That's actually the name of his street. They renamed his street for that. So I think that's going to be a really good thing. And him and Vivek is a fucking beast. He's going to be able to do so much. So I'm really happy to see this coming. This one cracks me up. I mean, where are the 20 million votes? I mean, you still have asshole California and fucking Michigan and Pennsylvania still counting. Today is November 19th. What is that? It's 14 days after the election. Today's Monday. So tomorrow will be 14. Tomorrow will be 2 weeks. So we are way, way after the election and still counting. I mean, how the fuck is this fair? So, I mean, this is great. But I'm glad it happened this way. You know, sometimes Mecca is so amazing because of the pilgrimage to get there. You know, so I mean, the when it's hard to accomplish something and when you have to wait, I think it's all the sweeter and all the better. I think this second term is going to be something phenomenal. I think we're going to cut a lot of government waste, and I think you're going to see entrepreneurs do really well, and I think you're going to see a lot of innovation come back into the U.S. and maybe we can get rid of some of the regulation that's holding us back. I mean, the way Howard Lutnick, who's part of he's the chair of the transition team for Trump, and will very likely be a big proponent of Bitcoin for the administration. He explains it as it's basically like having an Olympic athlete having one leg pulled back, touching their butt, and then trying to run the race. Like, how can you do it if you're so hampered? And that's what our government is doing. It's hampering us really badly. And the best thing about this particular election cycle is I believe it's the death of the mainstream media. You know, I was once a journalist and worked as a journalist for 4 or 5 years. I was totally into it. It's what I wanted to do. I used to go out on Sundays in Park Slope and go to the newsstand and buy the big ass Sunday New York Times. I love the New York Times. Now the New York Times is fucking dog shit. It's the propaganda arm of the U.S. government, and all of this crap is. It's just propaganda coming at you. And you know, they fucking nearly killed us during COVID, and now you have this independent news source where you're getting news from different people, and you have podcasts where you can go, whether it's liberal or right wing or whatever, you can get your news directly and fucking figure it out for yourself and think for yourself and use this fucking big heavy thing on the top of your head. You know, critical thinking, like what the fuck happened to critical thinking? Critical thinking is a really good thing. We should be using it. So I think X is a huge fucking important thing for free speech. Free speech, free speech, free speech. Bullshit. So that's my view of that. And just one last thing. This is just amazing. The absolute worst year, 4-year compound annual growth rate for Bitcoin is 24%. So if you look on this graph here and you bought it at like the dumbest time for you, you still made 24% a year on your money. And if you bought it at the right place or some place, you could have made 140%. That's what I just made in the last 12 months. So it's definitely an incredible investment. I like to end on something positive. I think that now with the Trump administration coming in, I think I think I want to say Lutnick. I think Bitcoin is going through the roof. I really do. I think it's going way up, way, way, way up. I think we're just scratching the surface here because I think that the Democrats and Gensler had just a really unsure. Nobody knew if they were for it, against it, if they're going to break it up, if they're going to attack it. And now I think there's going to be real confidence. And I think you might even see the U.S. use Bitcoin as a treasury reserve, which would be fucking amazing. It's a good way to get rid of our 35 trillion or 36 trillion of debt that we have now. So look to see a lot more Bitcoin. I mean, just look at that. That is something else. And I think it's still going up. All right. There was something else I wanted to tell you guys. If you want to contact me and learn a little bit about how to either invest in real estate or use Bitcoin as a treasury reserve for your real estate, I have some tricks that I can just send you a PDF that I'm working on. I'll actually get it finished to send you, or I can just tell you. So, yep, let me know.